Good afternoon.
Hello, everybody.
We are out here at the DOT garage, I guess, or maintenance space.
Building.
And that happens to be right behind the water plant. And we're going to talk about, see if I can move this high enough. What are we going to talk about, Philip?
Well, last week we talked about cisterns and how people got drinking water from rainwater off the roof into the cisterns. But in 1977, the community voted to install a municipal water system on the island. And today, this is where we get our water. There's a well that taps into the Castle Hayne aquifer. And the well is drilled over 600 feet deep to tap into that aquifer. And that's what provides the drinking water. They pump it up into the tower, and then gravity provides it to the rest of the community. So this was built in 1977. And
I was going to say, one of the things that I remember in the 80s was they didn't have a generator for the water plant. So when the power went out on the island and people were using water, they didn't have any power to pump water.
They couldn't pump it back up. So, hey there, we got people, neighbors going by. So when the tank ran out, then you didn't have water, but now they can pump it back up into the tank. And there's an interesting story about this water tank in 1993. There were some young men on the island, and their names are going to remain anonymous, but they were, I think it was one Saturday night, they were just out and about drinking a few beers and walking around the village, and they went over to the schoolhouse and somehow decided that they were going to climb up onto the roof of the schoolhouse and get a view of the village. And they were so impressed with the view from that height that one of them decided that there was a better place to get a good view of the entire village. And they came over here and somehow were able to access the ladder. I think they had to quote borrow a ladder from the nearby National Park Service to get up to the metal ladder. Well, there you can see the ladder.
Yeah, it's on the side to the right-hand side.
And climbed up all the way to the top of the water tank tower. And then, of course, they had this wonderful, wonderful view of the whole village. And it was nighttime, and there were stars out, and they were all excited about it. And then one of the boys noticed the hatch at the top of the tank. And before you know it, all three of them were in the water tank taking a swim in our water tank. I think that they really were unable to keep that secret to themselves. And they went to Howard's pub, and the word got around that what they'd done. And eventually, just a couple days later, one of the boys was approached by the sheriff, and after that, they all ended up doing community service. But Dave Frum, who used to work at the water plant, liked to say that his neighbor, Clinton Gaskell, who was in his 80s, said, "I'm not drinking that water anymore after those boys were in there. I'm not drinking that water." And Dave said, "Clinton, that water's already passed through the tank. You've already drunk part of it. It's all fresh water up in there now." But nowadays, there's a padlock on the top of the...
I wonder why.
I wonder why. So if anybody's tempted to try that trick, don't try it. And you wouldn't be able to get up there anyway today. So.
Well, that inspired me when we were talking about the new water tower. They're getting ready to build a new water tower that's supposed to be in operation sometime in 2027, so 50 years after this first one was built. And we were talking about what they were going to do with this old one. And my suggestion, because of this swimming escapade, my suggestion was to cut the top off, and we could have a skyline view swimming pool.
There you go.
So that's my suggestion. I don't know.
I don't think they're going to go for that, though.
All right. Well,
okay.
There's a little history about the Ocracoke water plant. Thank you, guys.
Well, bye, y'all.